Welcome back to the AI Operator Show. I want to talk to you a little bit about how to give AI memory. I want to go through what memory is and touch on why I think these new agents and systems are going to be so much more powerful and so much more interesting for all of you. A little background, it's exactly what we imagined building at ArcuAI, and we had it partially there, but this stuff is just next level. Today, I want to chat about memory, what it means in agents, and give you an overview so that when you're thinking about how you're setting up your system and what the future needs to be like, you got a good basis point to go from. Follow along, subscribe to the channel, and you'll be able to learn from this the way that we are. How do we give our AI memory? If you're using ChatGPT, you could see for a while that it had a bit of memory, right? But you couldn't go in and just like ask it a question about the last 3 weeks and expect it to come up with an answer. Now, what we're actually building is an AI that remembers our context, our preferences, all the conversations we ever had. It can query them, it can do all that stuff. It remembers that it has workflows. It remembers all of these things because we've added the memory stores to it. We saw this in the beginning with RAG, where you could have an LLM and it would be able to access context. But this is different because this is multi-layered memory and you're building a second brain for your actual system. What's the difference in memory? An LLM without memory is like just a tool, right? It has no context. It has no ability to get better for you. As soon as we put memory in there, it starts to learn, adapt, compound. It can look back at the things it did or we did with it, and it can actually start to get better. Let's think about working memory. What we built in here is we built daily notes, any decisions that are made, context capture, problems we encountered, bugs, things we're working on, solutions, all that. Think of this as the exact same thing as your short-term memory as a human, right? This is the things that you're remembering. You got a sticky note on your computer, things written down, all those things that you're trying to do. That's what our working memory is in our system. And then we have our second layer, which is our long-term memory, and we run this in a memory.md. This is the curated information or the curated wisdom that persists over time, that your system gets smarter and smarter and knows more about you and learns more about what you're doing. It's able to recognize patterns from all the different sessions. It's got lessons learned from the mistakes that we made, and it's got preferences and our history. It's that long-term memory system that starts to make this thing feel very, very much like you. It's going to be very powerful the longer you use it. This is the one that we're investing in over time, and it gets really, really cool. And then we have deep memory. And I think this is one that a lot of people don't really think about, to be honest. This is like a searchable database, a knowledge database. A vector database is a relational database. It builds out, instead of having columns like an Excel sheet, it builds out all the things that are related to the other aspects in it. And so this is really, really powerful because now you can search conversations and topics and it'll go and it'll look at like all the things in that cluster and come back and tell you this is what actually happened. For instance, go in and tell me all of the customers in Safety Evolution that have put in a ticket and tell me what the tickets were, and then tell me how they relate to the builds that we're doing, right? It's going in and pulling from multiple different places and able to give you this type of memory. And on our current system right now, this is a 2 MB text file, but we'll upgrade this in the future to a more complex system. My sole on Linda was a micromanager and was taking all the work away from the agents. The Soul MD is really, really important because this puts in your value and your voice and all of those things, and when it's allowed to act and what it's not allowed to do and when to ask. It's not just the instructions, it's actually the identity of your agent. This is an idea of like how your system is going to decide what to use. So it's impact, urgency, effort, and reversibility. Level 1, our Soul set up that it can auto execute because there's low risk, it's reversible. Level B, for medium impact, it's going to probably propose things, it's going to ask me stuff, And then level C, it's going to ask for explicit approval. This is one of the most important things in your soul document to set up, because this is how it knows how to interact with your memory. The next one in here is your heartbeat system. Your heartbeat is what is actually going and getting the data. Your heartbeat is a job that it runs on a regular basis. I have one set up for every 4 hours to update my memory. It fires on a timer, it maintains that memory, it reads the instructions, it goes and checks, it pulls all that data in, and it updates your memory. This is so cool because all the things that we kind of forget about and slips through the cracks, this is going to go and capture those conversations, those systems, those things that we're doing. At the end of the video, I'm going to show you how this feeds into my command center and my operations side and actually keeps up to date all the time so that you're able to know what's going on. It's monitoring and it's putting it over and capturing it and feeding it back to me on a regular basis. When my AI wakes up and uses memory, it's going to read the soul, it's going to load the user, it's going to check my memory, it's going to review the memory, and then it's ready to work. It's full context. Imagine where you go into ChatGPT and all it has is your conversation you were in. This thing has every conversation, its soul, it knows you, it knows what you want, it knows who you are, preferences, all of that's ready to go the second you start chatting with it. I kind of alluded to this, but there's a big compounding effect with this. Day one didn't really know you. It's kind of like, whatever. Day 30, it's starting to understand your patterns. It's looking to work with you. It's starting to understand. By day 90, it's predicting what has to be done next. The sooner you start working on these things, the sooner you're going to be able to actually have a really, really smart system that knows you and knows what you're trying to build and do in your company and can help you. One of the big benefits that I kind of didn't realize was it automated decision journaling for me. The AI memory started to become a mirror for what I was thinking, my patterns, how I look at problems, how I solve problems. And it moves from being an assistant to an advisor because it has all the memories of all the things that you've done with it. This cost $0 to set up on my Mac Mini. It works free and it'll work with any AI. So you don't have to just think about this from OpenClaw, but this type of brain is going to be very powerful going forward. You create a memory file, then paste it in at a session start and update it weekly, or you can set it up to be automatic like we're doing, where you have a working memory, you have a soul memory MD, you've got heartbeats and vector databases. And my honest opinion is get on it, start building this out as soon as you can, because these are the things that are going to be an absolute game changer for the way you run your company. This video 5, we're going to actually be jumping into a bunch of videos where we look at the workflows, the agents. We built Gary Tan, our development agent. We built Johnny Ive, who's our designer agent. We built a bunch of workflows, dashboards, and all kinds of cool stuff like that. Subscribe and come along for the journey, and we're going to keep building these things out and showing you exactly how we're doing it. And the final piece, as teased out, here is the current dashboard we're running for all of the activities we're doing. So my agent, or my Linda, is actually watching all our conversations. It's updating this in real time. It's keeping track of all the things we're working on. We've got our North Stars, we've got our projects and what we're trying to do at the company. Subscribe all along, and we're going to be doing a lot more of these videos.